Okay, so let's talk about the consultation. Hi, I'm Kristin. I can't wait to meet you. So I want you to know a few things before we get started. So there are two parts to my consultation, and the first part being when you actually make your appointment. You'll go ahead and complete a short questionnaire, and what that does is help give me some context for your visit and to give me a good idea of where we're starting. Part two of my consultation is the actual appointment, where we get to meet in person and talk about everything. My best advice when it comes to booking a consultation is a lot of the time you're likely really wanting to wear hair extensions. And when you're ready to make that commitment, I want you to feel as prepared as possible. So what I recommend you do is honestly start like a list, general questions that you might have for me, and I'd be happy to answer those for you at your consultation. And so what I actually do for consultations is I take all of the information that you've provided for me and I start putting it together to create some options for you based on what I think could work for your hair. So I like to come prepared. And I think part of my best preparation is to help prepare you for your appointment. Ultimately, I want you to get everything that you're looking for out of your hair or your hair extensions experience. And the best way that we can do that is together and with preparation. I'm always happy to share more information with you, so feel free to come with questions or concerns that you might have. In terms of pictures, what I'm looking for are pictures of the sides of your hair and then pictures of the back of your hair. These pictures don't have to be perfect. I just basically need to get a good idea of what your overall like length and density are going to look like. So when you're taking photos, don't turn your entire body away from the camera. What I want you to do is face the camera directly like this and then just turn your head over your shoulder. So that way I can see the sides and just how your natural hair lays on your body. When it comes to pictures, skip the blurry photos and make sure that you wipe off the lens of your camera before taking pictures. What I want you to do is maintain a natural body position when you're taking pictures. So I don't want you to send me anything of your hair zoomed up like this. That doesn't show me anything. So instead, getting like a zoomed out idea of what your hair looks like is going to be the most helpful. A really easy way to take a picture of the back of your head is in your bathroom mirror. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm just going to turn with my phone on selfie mode and I can see the back of my head. And then you can take a picture just like that. Feel free to even like take a picture of like the sides of your hair this way too. I don't want you to do anything super exaggerated, so try to avoid going like this, but like hold it level and take pictures that way. Easy peasy. The lighting in this bathroom isn't perfect. You could do this and set your phone to record, and I just have it sitting on the counter, and you can kind of like show me your hair that way. That's a good way to do it, just so I can see like a natural body position, but it gives you a little bit some ideas. You know, I'm not even against like a mirror selfie. Even something like this, like that gives me a good idea of what the sides of your hair look like. It's really easy to take a photo in a mirror, so yeah, super simple, just like that. Hope that helps. Okay, so I'm going to show you a lighting trick. Right now I'm standing directly facing a window, which is why you can see all of my features and I have some natural light on me. Let me show you what happens when I turn away from the window. Completely changes. See how much darker that is? So if you're going to take pictures in front of a window, just make sure that you're facing it so that way your entire look doesn't completely darken. Hope that helps. When it comes to inspiration photos, what I suggest that you bring are just pictures of hair that you like. Even if you don't know exactly why you love that particular look or are drawn to that specific photo, what ends up happening a lot of the time is there ends up being like a theme. If you can just gather like a few different variations of things that you like, that's a good place to start. So how long is the consultation appointment? I book an hour for consultation appointments for my new guests. This gives us plenty of time to talk, gives us a little wiggle room for, if you happen to be running late, and we got a lot to talk about. How to wear your hair to the consultation appointment. What I want you to do is come with clean, dry hair that has been washed within like the last 24 hours and wear your hair how you normally do to your appointment. If you have curly hair and want to wear curly hair extensions, come with your natural curls to your appointment so I can see your texture. For your consultation, just wear a plain neutral top and avoid anything bulky that can't be removed. Just because what I really want to be able to do is see where your hair is like living on your frame and how it sits on your body. Okay, so it's totally fine if you're wearing hair extensions to your consultation, and that actually happens all the time. So that's not a big deal at all. So I'm pretty good at being able to gauge what exactly your hair looks like underneath hair extensions. However, sometimes that's not always possible. So what I like to do in that instance is I'll provide a range of pricing for you instead. Now, of course, everybody's different. So there will be certain extension applications I will be able to see better than others. What we do is provide a range of pricing. And so that way, when it's time for your extensions to be removed, we'll have a good idea of where we're starting. So what if you need your color and hair extensions done? Your best bet is going to be to book a consultation appointment with me, especially if we've never met before. It's really important for me to see what your extension attachments and overall condition is like before we book chemical services. So what you'll do is you'll book the consultation appointment, and as soon as your consultation appointment is booked, you'll get a text from my number directly for further instructions about your appointment. And I suggest that you save that number directly to your phone just to make sure that we can stay in touch. Okay, so I do work in a salon and we do have a receptionist at the salon. However, we do not always have a receptionist during the hours that I'm working. So just know that if you, for some reason, do end up calling the salon, you may not get an answer. And it's always best to either call me directly and leave a message or shoot me a text directly. The most reliable way to communicate with me is always through me directly. Okay, so what do you do if you need to make changes to your appointment? So all changes to your appointment can be made directly through your appointment confirmation email. After you book an appointment, you'll get an email from me with your welcome message. And in that message will be links to make changes to your appointment. We allow appointment changes for standard appointments up to 48 hours of your scheduled visit. That's the easiest way to reschedule. So when you book an appointment with me, you'll be communicating with me directly. All appointments and booking are done through my booking system, and the salon that I work at does not have access to make changes to my appointments. If anything comes up and you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me directly. So what are the hair extension methods that I work with? So a majority of my public work is fusion hair extensions, and I work with Great Lengths and Hair Dreams. However, I offer several different methods of hair extensions, including Great Lengths, Hair Dreams microlines, and comb line hair extensions. So I can offer a wide variety of customizable solutions just for you. What I recommend you do is go over to my website and look at the information that I have there about the different methods. And don't worry, there's videos coming soon just to go a little bit more into depth of each of the different types of methods. So how soon after my consultation can I book extensions? For most new guest extension appointments, we can book within 2 to 3 weeks of your consultation appointment. There are instances where I'm able to book appointments outside of my standard hours. However, that varies. So ask me directly if you need special dates or to rush your specific application, and we'll see what we can do. So how much do hair extensions cost and how do I know what I can expect to pay? So every single person is different and no two heads of hair are the same. So every single person's pricing will vary one to another. It's a highly individualized process. So there really are no per se cut and dry pricing guidelines. However, I do encourage you to review just some ranges of pricing that I have located on my website. So what I'm able to offer a majority of my guests is a service agreement and payment method all in one. So what we'll do at your consultation is we'll talk about all the things that we're going to do. We'll book any necessary appointments. And then what I do is I write it all out for you. And then you'll see kind of a layout of what your service looks like along with my service policies. And within that same service agreement, you'll be able to pay your extension service retainer. We require a 50% deposit to book every extension application. Okay, so before you book your appointment with me, what I want you to do is go ahead and look at all of the information about the different types of services I offer. And I also encourage you to go through my service pricing. Every single person's pricing is different and it varies from individual to individual. You can find a pretty good idea of what pricing can look like based on my guidelines on my website. Things that affect your pricing are where you're starting and where you want to go. If you are starting with hair that's like this long and you want hair as long as mine, that's going to look different than hair that's this long that wants to be this long. So it truly varies from every single person. Okay, so what if you want to change everything? So what we'll do is we'll still meet for the consultation and talk. And from there, what we'll do is schedule any appointments that we might need or prior to having your extensions done. Even if I'm not the one who is coloring your hair, my best recommendation is the fresher, the better. So when your hair color is fresh, that's when I would recommend having your hair color matched. If you're changing your color, that's something different. Every single person is different. So these are hard questions to answer just because it's going to vary so much person to person. But I try to give as much information as I possibly can. what we do is we will chat about all the things that we want to discuss, and then I will look at your hair, we'll make recommendations, match your colors, and then book your appointment. Okay, so in order to book extensions, I require a 50% non-refundable service retainer, and there are no refunds on deposits or service pricing. Okay, so for your consultation appointment, what we do is we, of course, sit and talk and chat about all the things that we need to talk about. We go over our service agreement, we create a palette of hair colors for you, and then we book your appointment. To book all extension services, I do require a 50% non-refundable service retainer, and then the remaining balance is paid on the day of your appointment. How do I know which colors will work for my hair? So every single person's hair color is customized. So I'm able to combine hundreds of different colors together to create the perfect palette for every single person that I meet. So you never have to worry about how the match will goes because we'll take care of that during the consultation. So my best recommendation for having your colors matched is to walk in with hair color that you like and want to wear. So how long after my consultation appointment can I make an extension appointment? Most of the time, and for most people, we'll be able to book a new set of extensions within 2 to 3 weeks of your consultation appointment. Availability depends on what your schedule looks like, what my schedule looks like, and also depends on what exactly we're doing with your hair. I hope this helps to answer some of your questions and make you feel more comfortable with the consultation process. And I just want to say thank you so much for considering me, and I can't wait to meet you. Bye.